sewing room again today to record this video because there are lots of people here coming in and out and busy doing their own things and making lots of noise. There are bells ringing because of the bear. There are, you know, my sister-in-law has been doing some laundry over here at our cottage this morning. Doing laundry off the grid is a bit of, well, frankly, it's a bit of a luxury, period. The fact that we have a washing machine, we're one of the only families up around here that have a washing machine in our cottage. A lot of people take their stuff to town, or they just simply take it back home with them and do it when they get home. We have a washing machine. We use the generator to power it. We used to run it off solar for the water tank and use the generator to, obviously the machine needs electricity, but it was really starting to tax our battery system, so we have changed the way we do things this year, and now we run the whole thing off the generator. So it's a bit of a luxury, and obviously we don't have a clothes dryer, but we do have a very handy clothesline that works pretty nicely. Everything smells great when it comes in off the line. So hello, happy Monday. It is Flosstube Update Monday, and I have a few things to share with you today. I took a little video of one of my whips because, well, Shades of Blue, I've been working on that. I've been doing a little bit of work on that. It's quite big, and the lighting in here was such that I thought I'd do an extra little video so that I could get nice and close to the stitching so that you can see it. So I'll insert that video right here. Shades of Blue saw a little bit of love this week, so I started the fill-in of this motif here, the center part of that, and I've almost completed the bottom border to connect them up. I hope to finish that up later tonight, both the inside and this, so that this center will be completed. I completed this diamond up here, and I worked my way down with those motifs down the side there. They match, all of the borders match, so this is exactly what it will look like when this is completed down there. So, not a lot of progress, but, you know, every little bit counts. And it's just so beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful piece to work on. Northern Expressions Needleworks designs are super clear. The chart is very easy to follow. The instructions are very clear. So, you know, if you've been feeling like you've been wanting to try one, but you've been a bit intimidated because of the size, I'd say go for it. They're well worth it. And enjoy. I am working Shades of Blue on a 40 count white linen, and I'm using the called for Dinky Dyes silks that are charted for in the pattern, and I'm loving it. I'm hoping to put some more serious work into that this week. We'll see. The other thing that I was working on was my American Birds, the coasters that I started, the Bluebird coaster. Last week all I had was the top section of 892, just back and forth 892, and now I have the start of the bird. So this is the Bluebird from that pattern. There are 4 designs that came in the kit, and that's one of them. So I believe I showed the pattern page last week, and the name of the kit came from Stitches in Miniature, and I think that she had a website as well, stitchesinminiature.com. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, well, I'll correct myself next week. Today is going to have to be really, really quick because, again, I don't know how much time I've got, and I have a lot of Evertote business to take care of over the next couple of days. So, but I'll get to that in a minute. So 2 whips, Shades of Blue, and my American Birds. And I suspect that's what I'm going to be working on again this week when I have time for stitching. I am going away this coming weekend. I am leaving the island and I am traveling not very far away, to another lovely cottage in this area where we have been invited to spend the weekend. Myself and my girlfriends from the Fiber Friends. So my knitting friends, we are going to be hanging out this weekend along with Noelle from Knits and Pieces. That's another lovely knitting podcast that Noelle does with her daughter. And we are going to be hanging out with Tracy this weekend at her cottage. And so that's kind of exciting. I have my knitting packed, but I might sneak in a small stitching whip there as well. So I plan on recording my Friday Off the Grid video on Wednesday. You know, recording those videos, when I commit to doing them, it's committing to a little bit of time for myself. And, you know, when it's become a bit of thing that becomes important to you or to me, and I say to the kids and to John, well, I just need half an hour. I just need 45 minutes. I have to go and record this little video. Then it becomes a bit of a job, and it's something that I have to do, and I have to go and sit and stitch for 45 minutes. Well, you know, I'll take it. So they're fun to record. It's nice talking to you. It feels like we're having a bit of a chat. So I think I'll be working on Shades of Blue, and I'm going to record that on Wednesday. So hopefully I'll make a bit more progress there. Okay, nature update, animal update. As you can see from the clip that I put in at the beginning of the beaver has been very active up here. The footage of the beaver that I showed last week is actually a different beaver, and that was the beaver that is building a new dam where we park our cars, so on the mainland. And that's my father-in-law owns a small piece of property where there's no house, there's no building, there's nothing. We call it the Rock because that's literally what it is. It's Canadian Shield. It's a rock with, you know, some forest and a driveway. Not even a real driveway. It's like, you know, a path. And that's where we park the cars, and that's where the dock is, and that's where we keep the boats on the mainland to come out here. So that beaver, there's more than one beaver. And, you know, this, of course, has my father-in-law agitated about the numerous amount of beaver activity going on. So the footage that I showed last week was the beaver at the mainland. The footage that I showed today at the beginning is the beaver that's here. And it's not just one beaver. There's a beaver family because my niece was kayaking near the beaver dam, and I know I need to go and get you some footage of that beaver dam because it's very clear there's been a lot of new activity happening on the outside of that dam. There's a reason why the expression busy as a beaver exists, because they are constantly working, constantly working. I see them most mornings, every morning early. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and you'll hear the slap of the tail on the water. And because it's so still around here, and they don't slap every time, the slap is to, you know, either warn if they think that there's danger anywhere nearby, and they're, you know, what they do is they slap the water with their tail to distract, because it creates such a loud noise that it's a distraction to whoever hears it, and it gives the beaver a chance to get into the water and get away. They're actually not that fast on land. They're quite a slow-moving creature on land, but once they are in the water, they're very fast. So that's why they slap their tail. So occasionally we'll hear the tail slap, and then you'll see the head of the beaver, as you can see in the video, swimming across the bay. So my niece was kayaking near the dam and heard babies inside. So the lodge, the beaver lodge, is full of beavers. No one has told my father-in-law yet about the fact that there's babies inside the lodge, and I think we're going to keep this a little bit of a secret because he will not be happy, but that's okay. We like the beavers. We think they're pretty cool. The bear update, mama bear update, and the cubs. She has not been back to our cottage. She has not tried to come up on the decking anymore, but you know, we cleaned out the barbecue. We've been keeping it super clean. I've been putting the food away every night. We've been closing the windows that are near the kitchen to, you know, keep the smells inside. All of the dog food is closed up. We're doing everything we can. We haven't seen her close to our cottage again, but we have seen them around. So they've been in the forest on the path that we use to get back and forth between our place and my father-in-law's cottage. And we have seen them. They have tried to climb his deck again, so for the second time. So they're definitely still around. You know, it's a bit of a unique situation out here in that because of the drought, they're hungry. They are hungry, and their main job, their main existence is looking for food, is hunting for food. Bears, black bears are omnivores, and the main part of their diet are fruits, berries that they can find on the island, you know, insects, grubs, things like that. And with the drought, there's not a lot of food, and they're not small animals, they're big. So it does require a lot of work for them to find enough food. So I've had a few questions about the bears. I'll try to answer everything to the best of my ability. I am certainly not an expert on the bear, but through my observation and a little bit of reading that I've done, a few people have wanted to know where Papa Bear is. Where is the father bear? Well, black bears are not monogamous creatures. They do not mate for life. In fact, they are quite solitary. They are quite territorial. Now, I'm going to hazard a guess in that the reason they're territorial and solitary is because it requires so much food, so much land to produce enough food to feed a bear because of their size. They are quite territorial, so usually you won't have more than one bear at a time. We have gotten lucky this year with a mother and her cubs. So there is no Papa Bear anywhere around. Yes, they swim. They swim very well. They swim extremely well. In fact, they like to swim. My neighbor from another island said that he saw them swimming past his island, and the cubs were trying to climb up on top of the mother's back, and the mother wasn't having anything to do with it. So he said that was quite funny. It was like watching them sort of tussle with each other in the water and play. And, you know, you could tell, he said you could tell that the mother was, you know, oh, go on, get off. And so he thought that was quite funny. But so yes, they swim. They swim. These islands are very small. The one that we are on is about 75 square, you know, or 75 square acres. So it's not a lot. It's not a big island. You can walk around the entire island in about an hour and a half. And we're one of the bigger ones in our little grouping. So, you know, across the way, I've shown video before of the island that, you know, if you could throw a stone at it, it's tiny. And then, you know, there are 3 or 4 other little islands surround us, and they're tiny. They're just little outcroppings of rock. And yes, the bears swim back and forth, you know, constantly on the hunt for food. So yes, they swim very well. I think that was it. We are contacting the Ministry of Natural Resources to see if there's anything that we can do about you know, if it becomes more of a problem. At the moment, it's not a problem. But as we head into fall and, you know, as they get hungrier and they're preparing for winter, is the problem going to get worse? I don't know. It's a bit unique being out here. And apparently relocating them is not really a great solution because they, you know, another bear will just move in. Either another bear will move into the same territory, or they seem to find their way back, kind of like a cat finding its way home. So, you know, relocating them isn't really the best option. So that's my nature update. And what else? That's it. The beaver, the bear. I had a pair of cranes fly overhead the other day, sandhill cranes. I kid you not, the sound that they make is prehistoric. and shocking. It's shockingly loud, and they flew right overhead, right over top of the cottage. And they're a nesting pair. They're in the northwest corner of the island, and just the sound and the sight of them it's otherworldly. So, you know, that was pretty cool. So between the beaver, there's a family of loons, you know, 2 adults and 3 young. I never remember seeing a loon with young up here. It's not the greatest place for loons for breeding ground where we are. They continue to come back every year. They continue to try, but generally are unsuccessful because they make their nest on the water, close to land. So they need kind of marshy, you know, reedy area. And because of the uncertainty of the weather here and the fact that a storm can whip up so quickly, there are a lot of boat waves, there's a lot of wind, a lot of times their nests don't survive, and so babies are rare. And to see 3 young with 2 adults is, I've never seen it. I've never seen a pair of loons with 1 baby before. So this is, it's quite special. So we've seen them. Kathy and I witnessed them, the mother teaching the young, trying to, you know, start to fly, which was amazing. I mean, I've never seen that before. So, you know, it's been kind of a crazy summer up here with the wildlife. So thank you for letting me prattle on about that, probably for about 10 minutes now. For those of you who aren't interested, I probably lost you long ago. So moving on, you know, hopefully we'll see what happens in the week ahead, and maybe I'll have another story or 2 for you next week, or even by Wednesday, by the time I do my Stitch With Me. So that's it for wildlife update, whips update. I'm going to work on my bird. I'm going to work on shades of blue. I might sneak in a few stitches on my Sunday high tea from last month, which was the Mill Hill bead kit, the Santa sleigh, because, well, it's cute. Actually, that's what I'll take with me next weekend. That's the perfect thing to take with me. So I'm going to take that Mill Hill kit and I'm going to work on that. Just the cross stitching part, not the beading. I don't think I want to work with beads while I'm sitting outside chatting with friends, but the stitching part for sure. I think I can do that. Evertote, I had a big shop update last Thursday, and thank you so much. It has been a wonderful sales week, and you know, for all of you who bought bags, thank you so much. It's just, I am loving what I'm doing, and making bags and meeting new people and sending them all over the world has just been incredible. It's been so much fun. So I still have some bags left in the shop. One that I didn't show in the update, that's an older bag that actually I have on sale at the moment. I've only got 3 left. They're ready to go. Now this one needs a good iron. Now that's the other thing. The bags that get shipped from the cottage generally are, I do my very, very best to iron them as carefully as I can. But you know, the way that they arrive to you, they've been through the post, they're in a bag. They probably will need another iron, and all of our bags are perfectly safe to take an iron to. So if they arrive wrinkled, please, if it bothers you, take an iron to it. You know, hot-ish, not too hot, but they can definitely take it. So this bag definitely needs an iron. This one hasn't. I just finished putting this one together. Needs an iron, needs a press. So I've got 3 of these Canada wedge totes left. They're on, I've got a little bit of a discount on them in the shop right now. There's that white, one of my favorite liners there. And it's a boxed bottom. So perfect for a knitter or for smalls. For small projects. You can fit an 8-inch square Q-snap in one of these, as well as a hoop. Makes a great travel project. I like the wedge totes for stitching projects when I'm going somewhere. So one of my Mill Hills, I will use a wedge tote for packing my stitching this weekend. Because you know, you can fit everything in it, along with a pair of scissors, a little notions tote, a few snacks. You never know what else might make it in there. So there's a few of those in the shop. I also am still making more of the, this is just a piece of this particular bag. This is the sampler bag that I'm making. It's a medium cross stitch set. There are a few more of those in the shop. Anything that was ordered before Sunday is headed out in the next couple of days. My husband is going to take half of the orders on Tuesday. They are going on a trip up to the Ottawa River tomorrow, so I'm sending half of the bags with him. I'm not going, I'm staying here because I have a lot of work to do, and I'm also hoping for a quiet day, maybe on Wednesday, where I'm going to stitch. So he's going to take half of the bags with him, and then my father-in-law is going to town on Wednesday, and I'll be sending the other half of those orders with him. Anything that is ordered today or tomorrow or Wednesday will be going out next Monday. The first, I don't know what the date is. Today's the 13th. So next Monday, not today, next Monday. And I'm working on, I know I've mentioned that I've been working on something a little bit special to share with you from Evertote. I am going to be talking about that next Monday. I haven't decided yet whether I will do a separate video for it or just use it as at the end as the shop update. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm kind of excited about it because it's been a lot of fun. Okay, so that's it for me. Happy Monday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Friday for Friday Off the Grid. Happy stitching.